typically in our productions when we make these things, we wrap up to the pieces. Because of our location, we had to start with the pieces. So day one was opening battle pieces, which was just full on. All the actors had to be up to speed. Everybody had to be up to speed. So it was a bit of the gun at the gate, like here we go, into the deep end right off the top. So there wasn't any ramping up to it.
And 3, 2, 1, action!
I think because of the effort that all our cast put into the training side of it, it went off smooth. There was no issues at all. It was really good. It's not a big stunt film per se. Like, we're not throwing people out of buildings and blowing up stuff and all that, but it was definitely a very, very actor action oriented kind of thing. And I just can't say it enough times. Those kids are fantastic.
Scott I started to work with, and I really love him and his team. I started to work with him on C. He's, Vancouver-based stunt coordinator, really smart guy, recommended to me by Chivo Emmanuel Lubezki because he had worked on The Revenant. And so I contacted him, and he and his team did amazing work on C. And so some of the battle sequences and the fight sequences on that were just insane.
Okay, going up.
And we brought him out here. But we used the same sort of methodologies, which is that I started to talk to him about where tributes are, where tributes need to be, which tributes need to die, which tributes need to survive, where they need to end up, how some may fight, how some may run. So he had to start to, you have to wrap your head around, when you have almost 24 people, like who's going where and who's got to die and all that kind of stuff. But then what tools can they use? What are the tools that sort of are put there that are representative of the different districts that each of the tributes are from? How can they be used by the tributes, you know what I mean? And so there was like a fair amount of development.
You have time on a rehearsal stage to play with it and throw ideas up. And I have a very good idea where Francis wanted to go with this show. So when I'm on my rehearsal stage with my team, I can try a couple things and I can go, hey, that works, let's try it this way this time. What if you guys are transposed? Let's see where that goes and try this. And what if it goes under the turnstiles instead of over? We try all these things on the stage, and each one of them works, and it doesn't. There's always some hindrance, and then we realize that it's probably better to go over top of the turnstiles and take it from there. So it all came down to rehearsal time. You have to rehearse. When you rehearse, spend your money on the rehearsals. When you're on your shooting days, they'll be shorter days. In our rehearsal stage, I put together 24 stunt people, and we'll call them proxies because we hadn't even had cast at that point. And with our proxies, we put together this fight sequence, which is all about timing. When you're here, you're here, you're here, and 24 people have to do something at that metronome beat of number 13 or number 14, number 15, to make sure that you've gone from there to over here to interact with this person, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then when we put it all together and Francis okayed it, now when our cast started showing up, we started transposing. We take one of our proxies out and we teach a cast member what it was. So now we got 23 stunt people in one cast, and then we got 22 and 2 cast members, et cetera, et cetera. And we slowly integrated our cast members into what our proxy fight that we put together. When you go down to the ground from that upswing, when you're crawling, you can have a look for Pambo, so you know where he is.
Yeah, because I'm not crawling anymore. I haven't crawled in many a tape.
Whatever happened.
I've been standing up because I can't crawl in these. Can't do much in these.
You want to put on some runners?
No, it's okay.
You sure?
Yeah. Okay. These are helpful, just not to crawl.
Not to crawl. Okay, cool.
So I've been standing
When you
up.
scramble.
Yeah, I've been standing up, scrambling.
You scramble toward Pambo, you can look at him and see where he is.
Yeah.
But as soon as you line them up, turn around and clock off.
Yeah.
Then when we had that down, then he'd bring all the actors in, and then he'd videotape the actors, and then I'd come in and talk to the actors through everything. So by the time we were actually in the arena, it was really well rehearsed, and we sort of knew exactly how it was going to be shot and what everybody was going to be doing and what the timing was like. And I find that to be just a really efficient way to be as creative as possible and have the time to kind of develop the ideas within the sequences and then be ready when you need to shoot it.
And 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
That was my first day on set, was the countdown into the Hunger Games and running in. It's called the Bloodbath, which was really great. And I mean, the first thing I had to do was just scream bloody murder for Jessup to try to find him, and then dodge everybody else, dodging Reaper and Coral and Mizzen, and trying to get to Jessup so that we could run underground. So Coral comes in, Trident, right, go back this way, and then again,
Right.
and then forward fall.
Yeah, and then chase her all the way back. So when you scramble back, tell me how you scramble back here. When
Yeah,
you
I was sitting up. I was stuck on another shoot in London and I missed the 6 weeks of stunt rehearsal that everybody did. And I came in on the first day doing this bloodbath scene that everybody had rehearsed, and everyone was so patient with me. And, you know, Mackenzie had her whole Trident choreography down, and she took the time with me to, you know, teach me where I should go and what's easier for her and what's easier for me. And it all just became such a beautiful collaboration with all of those young kids, all of our stunt people, and our stunt coordinator Scott and Steve, who were just so patient with me because I desperately needed that patience.
Yeah, I mean, it was super fun. I mean, when I first, because I had to, the main thing we worked on was like the fall, because I had to like fall backwards like 15 feet. And at first I was like pretty scared when we rehearsed it in Berlin. I was like, all right, I guess we're doing this. But I mean, I did it a bunch of times and they made sure I was feeling good and safe. And so by the time we got to set, like, it was pretty easy. I just rehearsed it a couple times. And then once we started rolling, I shot it like a couple times and it was fine. I think it turned out well, so we'll see.
Okay, guys, here we go. And 3, 2, 1, go. Hopefully you'll do it with better acting than my stunt people. This is all about your face. Make contact with it. That's it. Okay? So you're never going to be supported. This is always you doing your thing, and you just have the wire to save it. Okay?
Well, we practiced for like 2 weeks back in Berlin. And, you know, I'm always safe in a harness, so it's like, for me, that's not a problem. Height is not a fear of mine, so it was actually very fun. I actually fell off a couple times in practice, but yeah, so just like practicing the fight up there.
I wish I was on a harness, but yeah, nothing like going up there with a harness. And then we've got a few more pieces to do, which is just, you know, chasing Lucy. We've got a drone attack that's going to be happening behind you guys. Hey, Crow, do you mind if I take this one?
Not a chance.
Go! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
We have an amazing stunt team here. There's like a scene where I have to, in self-defense, you know, crush this person with a massive rod with like cement on it. And there's a scene where there's a bombing that happens and all the cement falls down and I get crushed under this burning rod. And all of that was, we always felt safe, but it felt intense. It felt incredibly intense. I've definitely sustained a few bruises and a few twists along the way. But all of that kind of makes it feel more real.
He would have saved you. Bang, bang, bang. No.
As the stunt players, I can probably speak for all of them. That was our favorite stunt in the whole film.
Ow, ouch!
That goes back to what every kid thinks about as being a stuntman.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, go!
Mom, Rachel, you good?
Yeah.
Is like get knocked down the cliff and roll down the hill sort of thing. So it was really, when we visualize it, and I was talking to the art department when they showed me some of their drawings, you know, I tweaked a couple things to get the right angle to the slope and all that. And then we built the slope out of foam, basically. Not so much rubber, but a soft foam that's got like a latex paint on it. So there's a give to it. It's not concrete sort of thing. It's forgiving enough that if you did whack your head on it, you weren't going to get a concussion or something like that. The biggest risk was getting somebody's foot in the back of your head or something as you're rolling over.
Cut.